Hey everybody, welcome back. My name's Steven. This is Northwest Small Batch Brewing. And today I'm taking a slight skew, little left turn at Albuquerque, to do something a little different than beer. I saw this recently on the Whiskey Tribe. And I thought, I got a whiskey I could try that with. So to fat wash your whiskey, you want a Ziploc bag. Like a gallon-sized Ziploc bag. I really recommend you try to get one that's got the Ziploc kind of connector. You know, some bags have the slider. Don't get the slider because we're going to be pouring whiskey into the bag and you don't want it to, you know, drain out. So you take some butter that's softened. It's pretty cold here, so I had to actually soften mine just a little in the microwave, but you have to be very careful. It can get too soft very quickly in the microwave. This is half a stick, 4 tablespoons basically, because you're doing a 2-to-1 ratio, right? It's double the amount of fat to how much whiskey you're using. So in this case, I'm using 4 tablespoons of butter. You could, of course, use other kinds of fat. I imagine like, you know, bacon fat would be amazing, right? But I'm going to use unsalted butter, 4 tablespoons, 2 cups of whiskey. Then we're golden. Double the fat than the whiskey. It's early still, guys. It's, you know, math. All right, so it's pretty simple. All you do is you take your butter, you put it in the bag, and you take all the paper off, you know, and then you seal up the bag. And you're going to spread the butter out. That's why it needs to be soft. And it's just going to take a while, but you basically smush the butter here until it's covering the entire bag. Like it's you know, really spread out so that you get a good surface area. So I'm going to keep doing this, and I'll be back as soon as I have the butter completely, you know, all over the inside of the bag. See you soon. Okay, so as you can see, I got the bag pretty well covered on the inside, nice thin layer. And now I'm going to add this whiskey. So, this stuff whiskey never pours real great. So, you know. All right, there's 1 cup, and you're just going to pour it right into the bag. Sounds like a great idea, right? Let's see if I can open this bag a little bit better. What could possibly go wrong? I mean, what could possibly go wrong? Oh. Trying to pull the cork off and it's already off. Oh Lord, have mercy. This is going downhill fast. All right. It's got a little bit of whiskey dripping. I don't want it to get all over the it will eat through the top this table's top, believe it or not. All right, so whiskey in the bag. Now we're going to sort of lay it flat. A little whiskey on the board here, never heard anything. But you're going to lay it flat, and basically you're just going to rub it like this until the whiskey is fully mixing in and sort of infused in all the butter that's spread out through this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll be back after I freeze it. So after you do this, you want to stick it in the freezer for about an hour. I mean, realistically, you can put it in there as long as you want, and then you take it out, and I'll show you what we do next. Okay guys, so it's been a few hours, and what I'm going to do, or try to do on camera here, it's probably not a good idea, but basically you want to capture all the whiskey and leave behind your butter. So pick a corner, any corner. Or you could just do it out of the, I guess I could just open it, but I think it's going to be easiest. Oh, I'll have to fish that out. Anyway, you want the whiskey but not the butter, and then you scrape the butter out and put it into a separate container. It looks like I'm going to either have to wait for the butter to sell to the bottom because there's still butter that made it out of this, so either that or I have to filter it. We'll see. Anyway, I'll be back once I have this all set aside and I have the butter put into a different container. All right, everybody, so here we go. So I have a little bit of the unadulterated monkey shoulder on this side, which I just poured a tiny bit because I already know what it tastes like and I don't like it. And then I have a small amount of the, fat adjusted. So, and then I have the butter, right? So the butter, if you just melt it just a little bit, if you have a soften option in your microwave, you could just sort of melt it down. That way it's all sort of in one little clump. You could even pop it out of this. It just smells like butter that has whiskey infused in it. And it would be great. In this case, this particular whiskey, I feel like it would be really good on pork, just a little bit on top of your finished pork. But at any rate, so the monkey shoulder, I mean, you get kind of like apple cider and sort of fruit notes. It's really kind of harsh, in my opinion. There is some sweetness, like honey sweetness to it. There's just so many better whiskeys out there. And then this is the fat wash. Now, when I opened it, I just put it in this, as you can see, used jar. But it smelled different just opening it. More subdued, I guess. Trying to get the... boy, that's not a long finish on it. And it's a bitter finish, not very nice. So I did strain this through a metal strainer, like a kitchen strainer, just to get any big chunks of butter out of it. It didn't get everything, but that's fine. It is cloudy, a little cloudy. That's fascinating. It's really fascinating. I mean, you'd expect that it would have some sort of a buttery taste, and it absolutely does. I tell you what it does. It kind of gets rid of that bitter finish that it would have normally for this particular whiskey. It doesn't add anything, in my opinion, to the flavor. I would just say it overall softens the whiskey and kind of gets rid of that bitter aftertaste. So it does improve it in this case, but I mean, not enough that I would just start buying it and doing this, to it just to have a better whiskey. But it would be fun to make something that was with, I've heard of people doing peanut butter, or like I said, you could use grease from like bacon to mix it in with the butter and get a bacon sort of butter fat washed whiskey. So the opportunities are there for some interesting stuff, but I think bottom line is you can't take a bad whiskey and make it better by doing this, at least not significantly better. Interesting. Give it a try, especially if you like to do cooking, because I can see that the butter would be pretty cool to put on a steak or something. So hey, that's all I got for this week. I'll see you again next week for an actual beer video, and until then, keep on brewing.